Hi, this is the second in a series of videos where we consider what we could do with a lot of brain data and a lot of computing power. In the first video, we checked out how your brain data can be recorded and deciphered to the point that somebody else could see what you're seeing. Seriously, it's possible. Check out that first video. Your mind can be read. In this video, we're going to look at how we can also change people's minds. Our minds can also be written to. So what do I even mean by that? Can we somehow externally affect our brain? Yes, we can. Here, check this video out.
If we start at the back of the brain, we've switched off my visual cortex, so made me unable to see things. If we move a little bit forward in the brain, we've interfered with people's ability and my ability to see faces. A little bit further forward, we've interfered with the ability to perform actions. Start moving your finger. It's quite odd. It's not your finger anymore.
It's not my finger anymore.
We've interfered with the ability to compute with numbers.
6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. Yes.
We've interfered with the ability to speak.
London Bridge is falling down. Uh-oh.
You think of something you can do, and we've basically interfered with it with this machine.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So what's the problem?
I don't know.
The kind of magnetic field they were using caused a disruption in this person's consciousness or something. So what this means is electromagnetic fields interact with our physiology in our brain, so they can affect our thinking. In other words, we could literally change somebody else's mind. But in that video, it was just kind of like a blunt force effect to our thinking. It caused disorientation, it caused confusion. But it begs the question, what else could we do with this ability to interact with the brain? How much can we influence the brain, and in what ways? Can our memories be changed? Here, check this video out.
Mind readers are a staple of sci-fi movies or bad TV, but new technology could soon make mind-reading devices a reality. Scientists at Duke University have developed a mind-reading device for rats that gives them shared thoughts.
On the right lever, the light showed up, the animal got it, the encoder is transmitting the information to the decoder is now decoding the message, press the right bar, and gets the reward.
The rats were connected by a wire sending signals from encoder to decoder, and the scientists at Duke tested rats as far away as Brazil and got similar results. They connected one rat's brain to another via fine wire and extended it over the internet. The rats' brains could communicate from thousands of miles away. But lead neuroscientist Miguel Nicolelis isn't stopping there. He told NBC News information could extend to other senses and many more rats. You could think about taste, vision. I don't see any problem doing this, he said, adding, I could see a swarm of rats be informed by one rat. Nicolelis' group is known for going above and beyond with some wild experiments. Wired reports the scientists have previously given monkeys an artificial sense of touch of virtual objects. Most recently, Nicolelis' group gave rats the ability to detect normally invisible infrared light. But the study's results don't have everyone convinced. In the study, the decoder rat pressed the right button 7 out of 10 times. And Andrew Schwartz, a neuroscientist at the University of Pittsburgh, told the New York Times that the rat, quote, would have done so 5 out of 10 times by chance.
They were able to map the memory or concept of one mouse to another mouse, transferring the knowledge of one brain to another brain using some kind of translator. So we can cause and create specific brain activity in a subject in different ways, including magnetic and electric fields, such as in the video with the mice. And we recall from the first video on this channel, by recording the electromagnetic activity of the brain, we can also interpret hearing and seeing and more. So we can read and write to a mouse's brain. Wow. So let's look at how this could be done using AI. First off, each mouse's brain is different, so we would need to train AI algorithms on the data from each mouse's brain patterns, like we saw was possible in the first video, by recording the brain data of the mouse while recording also whatever stimulus it was being exposed to at the time, such as cheese, seeds, cats, etc., to get a catalog of the EEG activity and that particular stimulus. You can imagine like an Excel file where in column A you have the classification, whether it's cheese or seeds or etc. And then in the other columns you have EEG data. And you would train an AI algorithm like that. So now we can measure the EEG activity of one mouse and classify it using our AI model of that mouse, and then from the catalog of the other mouse of all of its EEG data and classifications, we can call up that brain pattern for, say, in our case, cheese, and cause the other mouse to think about cheese. Could this be done to humans too? Could this be done to your brain? Well, turns out yes. Look at this. The first human brain-to-brain interface has been created. In the future, will we all be linked telepathically? Mind you, this is 2014. International researchers are reporting that they have built the first human-to-human brain-to-brain interface, allowing two humans separated by the internet to consciously communicate with each other with no additional sensory cues. One researcher attached to a brain-computer interface in India successfully sent words into the brain of another researcher in France who was wearing a computer-to-brain interface. In short, the researchers have created a device that enables telepathy. For the computer-to-brain interface, which requires a more involved setup, a transcranial magnetic stimulation rig was used, somewhat similar to TDCS, in that it can stimulate regions of neurons in your brain, but instead of electrical current, it uses magnetism. The important thing is that TMS is non-invasive. It can stimulate your brain and thus cause you to think or feel a certain way without having to actually cut into your brain and use electrodes. In this research, they only really connected two people together, but could they connect more? Well, let's check this out. Scientists demonstrate direct brain-to-brain communication in humans. The investigators in the new paper point out that it is the first report in which the brains of multiple humans have been linked in a completely non-invasive manner. They claim that the number of individuals whose brain could be networked is essentially unlimited. So we can write information to a human brain. Now that's kind of tough to comprehend. Before we saw how to transfer an idea from one brain to another, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a brain, just the database of the EEG activity and the stimuli, so that we can just sort of pick a stimuli and then invoke that response in the brain using the transcranial magnetic stimulation, or maybe there's other methods too. And it leads to a few more questions like, what if we could collect EEG data remotely? What if we could stimulate someone else's brain remotely to display desired brainwave patterns, and we didn't need some big machine? These are some of the ideas we're going to look into in later videos. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.